Welcome to Los Vikingos TV, and today I'm going to be doing my immediate reaction to the Madrid Eibar game. To start off, this Eibar team beat Real Madrid at Ipora 3-0, and Cucurella literally ran circles around this team, torched them, and what a surprise, he's a Barcelona player on loan. This team needed to bounce back after a disappointing loss to Valencia midweek, and they delivered, winning 2-1, but it wasn't in convincing fashion. This Madrid team is 2 points back from Atleti, and they need to push them to try and get second. That is the only thing that they're playing for. And Atleti dropped points to Barcelona this past week. Something I noticed is Modric really needs a rest. His legs look tired. He isn't able to give his best for the entirety of the game, and that's something that Madrid really need with Luka. Benz was my man of the match. My other standouts were Valverde and Odriozola. Benzema could have scored five in this one. He hit post. He sent an open net over the bar, but he settled for two. He should have at least had the hat trick. He's been the MVP of the season and continues to shine without Cristiano Ronaldo there, proving the critics wrong. Even though he misses sitters, he can easily break his highest goal scoring total at Real Madrid this season. Valverde is great seeing the lineup. He's 20. He's hungry. He's press resistant, which was important against this Eibar team. That's part of the reason why we got torched by them in the first match. They've been phenomenal this year in La Liga, and they have a great system that works. They love to press, and they press well. With Kovacic halfway off the door, maybe Valverde can take some minutes that he would have eaten up if he would have come back, and maybe split some minutes with Ceballos, especially because he can play in that pivot role, that holding midfielder role that Casemiro plays in, something Ceballos cannot, and Kovacic could. He's young enough to be okay with playing second fiddle and learning from older players. Madrid, and he kind of worked out because Madrid have struggled to break press this year. You saw with Ajax, the first Eibar game, and there's many others that you can look at. Now on to the one that I'm talking about most, and that's Odriozola. I've been so impressed with this kid. He's been phenomenal. He showed at Sociedad that he had what it took, but there's a few reasons that I believe he's been the most consistent player under Zidane. Firstly, he's gotten a run of games because of the Carvajal injury. This has allowed him to get into a nice little flow of matches. The kid has blistering pace, and he could work on that final pass, but it's gotten better with the run of games he's had. He's never had Zidane as a coach before. Zidane didn't probably know much about him until this season. I'm sure he knew him from his Sociedad days, but he never worked with him closely, and I'm sure Odriozola is trying to prove to Zidane that he can be a relevant player for him and under him, and show him that he needs to be around for next season, and he wants to be an important piece for next season. He has tons of competition for this position. It's well documented that Hakimi has had a hell of a season at Dortmund. And though he has another year left on the loan, Odriozola needs to, make his presence known that he wants to be the first choice backup, especially because Militao will be in by summer, and he's been playing right back at Porto since they signed Pepe. Odriozola is really doing a good job of stamping his place as that second right back to back up Carvajal. Militao is going to push for minutes, whether that's at center back or right back. Odriozola needs to make sure that Militao doesn't push for his minutes. He's doing a great job of cementing his place into the squad for next year. He's been, like I said, he's been the most consistent player for Zidane. Onto the team. It shows this team has nothing to play for because two of my standout players are Valverde and Odriozola, two guys who really don't play much, who don't really have as much talent as a lot of guys in the squad, or at least they haven't really tapped into that talent. But this is a team of two halves. The first half, they look like a mid-table La Liga team who doesn't care, while in the second half, they switch into Real Madrid, looking like they belong at one of the biggest clubs in the world. Unfortunately, that's just the way that our season's at. That's the place that we're at, and it's probably not going to change. A note on Asensio and kind of Bale. He looks significantly better on the right, and Bale's looked better on the left. So I don't know why Zizou continues to start Asensio on the left and Bale on the right, and I don't know why it took him so long to make the switch at halftime. And that's all I have. That's all my thoughts for the game. Thank you guys for listening. If you like what you heard, subscribe. And just so you guys know, I leave for Spain midweek, so I will not be around to make videos. So I'll be on hiatus for the rest of April. I don't not get back till almost May. I'll be attending the Bilbao game when they play Rayo on the 14th or 15th, and I'll be at the Madrid Getafe game, I believe, which is on the 21st. If you want to read my latest Managing Madrid article, I'll put that in the description below. And Hello Madrid. Thank you guys for listening.